Hey everyone! Welcome back to Story Hive. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update. Let's jump into today's story. My wife's sister aggressively flirts with me and made a move recently. Now my wife is devastated and I'm at a loss on how to help her. My wife's sister made a pass at me at a recent family gathering, and I have no idea what to do. For context, I think my wife Jenna is absolutely gorgeous, but she has some serious negative body image issues. This is largely because of her sister Mary, who is very conventionally attractive compared to Jenna's more unconventional but striking emo beauty. Mary was a successful model until a couple of years ago and now works in the fashion industry. In the early days of dating, when I told Jenna she was beautiful, she would always say, when I finally met her family, Jenna would randomly press me for weeks to talk about her sister, whether I thought she was more attractive, etc. I always told her the truth, that I think Mary is attractive in a boring way, and that I think my wife is much more beautiful and interesting to look at. Jenna wouldn't let it go until I confronted her about how uncomfortable it made me and asked her what was going on. That's when she told me she always had a chip on her shoulder about her looks because of being compared with her sister growing up. They fell into the classic smart on pretty one dynamic their whole lives. She also mentioned that Mary had a habit of being flirty with all of her exes and warned me it would eventually happen with me too. She started sobbing and begging me not to cheat on her with her sister, to which I forcefully said I would never cheat on her with anyone, let alone her sister. I've been crazy about my wife since day one, and there's literally no woman on earth who could come close to her. I honestly didn't believe her about the flirting at first. I assumed it was just an extension of her insecurity. But I was wrong. Whenever we get together with my wife's family, Mary always finds ways to touch me and make little innuendo comments about me or my body. It's super uncomfortable for everyone, especially my wife. I've called her out on it before, and she'll cool it for a while, but eventually she starts doing it again. It's been 6 years of this, and every time it happens, my wife is upset for days, and I have to do a lot of reassuring. On to the current problem. A few days ago, we were at my mother-in-law's birthday party, and Mary asked me to help her grab some things from the garage. As soon as we walked into the garage, she started giggling and said she was just doing what we both had been thinking and kept insisting, "You know you want to." I told her she was out of her mind and ran out of there. I went straight to my wife and told her we were leaving. The whole ride home, she was asking me what was wrong. I wasn't sure whether to tell her because I knew how much it was going to hurt, but I also thought Mary would probably try to spin it as me making a move on her, so I knew I had to just say it. I told her everything and she cried the whole way home. For the last several days, Mary has been calling and texting my wife. Even though she believes my account of the situation, she's been a complete wreck for the last several days. She's hardly eating, pulling away from my touch when I try to hug her or just hold her hand. She says she feels hideous and disgusting, and I don't know what to do. This is the lowest I have ever seen her, and it hurts to see how much she's hurting. I have no idea what to do to help her heal from this. Reddit, what should I do? Update, my in-laws are definitely enabling her behavior. She's the golden child. They brag about her constantly, even though my wife is literally a neuroscientist. Their mom was a pageant queen, and their dad's much younger trophy wife. Honestly, we may have to go no contact with all of them. Update 2, I realized that I have never had a chance to check in with myself after these things happen, and I've actually been holding a lot of frustration and resentment about it all. I've been harassed for years, and it has either been brushed off or eclipsed by the impact it has on my wife. I don't blame her for it, but this has been a good lesson in me not burying my feelings for the sake of others, even for her. I also want to clarify a couple of things that came up. Several people asked about how my wife feels about all this, and I explained in a comment that her parents are toxic and treat Mary as the golden child, even though my wife is a freaking neuroscientist, amazingly talented, a musician who speaks 3 languages fluently and another 2 conversationally. My wife and her family are seriously the only people who don't seem to understand how exceptional she is. I remember meeting one of my wife's family friends and talking to them about her research. And they said, oh wow, her parents just told us she works at a university, whereas my parents literally introduce her as the family genius to everyone. It makes me so angry to think about how her family has stolen her shine her whole life. She's literally a Renaissance woman, but all they care about is looks and money. Some folks asked why I would ever put myself in a situation alone with Mary given everything she's done. I have no good answers for that other than I never thought she would actually try to do anything. That possibility just didn't exist in my head. I realize now that I should have seen this would happen eventually, and that I should have been less concerned with keeping the peace and more concerned with shutting Mary down before it escalated to this point. Hindsight is 2020. Anyway, on to the update. The night I posted, I told my wife that if she wanted to try to repair her relationship with her sister, I would respect that, but I don't feel comfortable being around her for the foreseeable future. I said Mary has obviously been deeply jealous of my wife her whole life because she is a hollow, ugly person whose entire value has an expiration date, while my wife actually has substance. I said that I think her whole family is toxic and has done nothing but put her down her whole life, but only she can decide whether she still wants them in her life. I also told my wife that while I don't blame her for her emotional reaction, her insecurity is something she needs to work on for our relationship to be healthy. What Mary did was sexual assault, and she's been sexually harassing me for years, but I have consistently put aside my own feelings about this problem because of how it affects her, and that has prevented me from getting the support that I need. I told her that her reaction only serves to punish herself and me for her sister's behavior, and there's no reason to give her that kind of power. I also told her something a commenter said that really resonated with me. The only people who have ever considered her second best are her and her family. Everyone else sees her for who she really is. She was crying the whole time and agreed that she needed to go to therapy to work on her insecurity. We were able to find a therapist who specializes in body image and self-esteem issues to work with her individually, and we're looking for a couples therapist too. My wife sent a message to her parents and sister explaining exactly what happened and told them she would reach out to them if she ever feels ready to repair their relationship. We blocked all of them everywhere, but Mary has, of course, been spamming my family and our friends with nonsense, claiming I attacked her, I'm a drug addict, I abuse my wife, all kinds of lies that thankfully nobody believes. My wife is still down in the dumps, but I can see that things are getting a little better. She's eating and sleeping more, and she's cuddling with me in the mornings again, which is nice. Now I'm planning a surprise getaway for us this weekend. We are going to one of our favorite places, and I'm going to wine and dine her and try to make her feel like the queen she is. I want to thank you all again for your help. You're the best. Update 3 first. I want to say that I've received many questions about who Mary is, and I'm just not going to say. Suffice it to say that she's never been a household name famous, but she made a living solely on modeling for about a decade. From what I understand, she must have been popular enough that fashion people might know her. I really don't know how that whole world works, but it doesn't matter how many names you drop. You are not famous if you don't have a Wikipedia page. I also got lots of comments that mostly jokingly called me a simp, and I can't argue with that. I totally am a simp for my wife, she's the coolest. I hope you all find a love that makes you feel this way. Now for the actual update. My wife loved the getaway weekend. We had a blast and the change of scenery really helped. The food and time together did wonders for her mood. We've had several more therapy sessions since then, and she's been working really hard on her self-esteem issues. Her progress is steady, though slow, and we are taking things one step at a time. I'm still not in contact with her family, and that's likely going to remain the case for the foreseeable future. My wife has been telling them that she needs space and has blocked them from reaching out to us. Her focus is on healing and rebuilding herself right now, and I'm supporting her every step of the way. Thank you all for your support and for sharing your advice. It means a lot to both of us. Update 4. Things have been moving in a positive direction. My wife has continued making strides with her therapy, and it's been heartwarming to see her regain some confidence and joy. She's starting to rediscover her passions and hobbies, which has been a beautiful process to witness. We've also been attending couples therapy, which has been incredibly beneficial. It's given us both a safe space to express our feelings and work on our communication skills. We're learning more about each other and ourselves, and it's been a crucial part of healing and strengthening our relationship. As for Mary and my in-laws, they're still trying to get in touch, but we've been firm in our decision to maintain our distance. My wife has made it clear that she's not ready to engage with them and needs time to focus on her well-being. We've also set some boundaries with friends and family about discussing Mary or her behavior, which has helped create a more peaceful environment. One thing I've learned through this process is the importance of self-care and mutual support in a relationship. I've been taking better care of myself as well and making sure that I'm emotionally available for my wife. This experience has reinforced how vital it is to have a partner who's committed to growth and healing together. Thank you all for your continued support and understanding. Your encouragement has made a significant difference in our journey. We are moving forward with hope and optimism, and while the road ahead may still have challenges, we are facing it together. I'll keep you updated as things progress. Update 5. I wanted to share a bit more about how things are going now. Since the last update, we've been focusing on enjoying the positive changes in our lives. Our daughter is growing fast, and watching her develop has been a source of immense joy and strength for both of us. My wife's progress with therapy has been impressive. She's starting to feel more secure in herself and has begun to embrace her accomplishments and unique qualities. It's been a long journey, but she's making strides toward healing. We've also been exploring new activities together, which has helped us reconnect and build new positive memories. We've maintained our boundaries with Jenna's family, and while there's still some occasional pressure from mutual acquaintances, we've found that focusing on our own family and well-being has been the most beneficial approach. Additionally, we've been considering how we want to handle potential future interactions with Jenna's family. While we are open to the idea of reconciliation at some point, it's clear that it needs to be on our terms and with careful consideration of our emotional health. We've also started discussing plans for the future, including ways to support each other's goals and dreams. It's been refreshing to think about our life beyond the recent struggles and to plan for a future filled with growth and happiness. I want to express my gratitude once again for all the support and advice. Your insights and encouragement have been invaluable throughout this process. We are looking forward to continuing our journey and building a positive, loving environment for our family. Thank you all for being a part of this journey with us. We'll keep you updated as things continue to evolve, and we are hopeful for what lies ahead. Thanks for tuning in to today's Reddit story. If you enjoyed it, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss out on more amazing stories. See you next time.